Hello, my name is Nathan Etherington. I'm the Program and Community Coordinator here at the Brant Historical Society. Archival Discoveries is a show where we find new documents at the museum and open them to learn something new about Brantford's history. Today's topic is the Brantford and Oakland Road Company. Okay, so here's the document box. Let's see what types of things we can explore. So one thing we have here is drawings for bridges. That sounds interesting. And then we have a whole bunch of series of correspondence and just random documents of the company. And this goes on for quite some time. So it doesn't look like we're going to get to explore all of these things, but we'll get to explore some of them. So let's start with the drawings of the bridges and see what we can learn about what bridges the Brantford Oakland Road Company is having built. Okay, so in drawings for bridges, we have quite a bit of blueprints and things that show plans or potentially proposals for the Cockshut Bridge. So here we can see one that is submitted in early of 1901, looks like April 8th, for a proposed design of the Cockshut Bridge to be redone. And you can see Harry Cockshut there as president receiving this proposal from the Hamilton Bridge Works Company. Okay, here's another proposal for the replacing of the Cockshut Bridge. Now this one has a name T. Harry Jones here, and as well it is dated April 27th, 1901. So it's the same kind of date as all the rest of the other documents. Looking here at the profile of the bridge, we see something very different. We see a raised section of the bridge and then a long drawn down slope here that's still part of the bridge leading to the road on the other side of the river. It also notes here the northeast corner of the toll gate. So when you use the Cockshut Bridge, it was a toll bridge. You used to have to pay a toll, and that toll keeper kept track of everyone who accessed the bridge and made them pay for those services. Okay, so in this correspondence envelope, I've kind of sorted through things and put things in order to give us a bit of context. It kind of tells us a little bit about why all this stuff happens in 1901. So the first thing is a series of bills. One is an act to amend the General Road Companies Act, and that's done in 1901. And then as well, the one after that is an act to facilitate the purchase of toll roads by municipalities. So again, before this time, this was incorporated by an act of parliament rather than a municipality. So it seems like they're doing some things to tighten up the road and highway system in the province. So all of these two laws are both dated in March of 1901. So we can see that happens prior to the issue of these plans for in April of 1901. So then this is really interesting because this comes from Harry Jones. Remember, we saw that one drawing, and he's a consulting engineer, and it's dated Brantford, June 27th, 1901. So we've progressed a little bit later. So what this document actually tells us is it talks about what is required in order to submit a proposal for this bridge. We would call it today, in today's language, an RFQ or an RFP, a request for proposals. And this document essentially outlines everything that needs to be taken into consideration for the bridge. Additionally, it does have something else in the back. It has general conditions of what you need to do in order to submit a proposal. So specifications for the drawings and the plans that you need to submit, and other such things that they require. Additionally, here we have this document in November, and he's again updating as to the work that's been done and to they needed quite a bit of fill, it appears, in order to improve this bridge. And there are two stretches of two different bridges that it appears like they're working on at the same time. So the next diagram is also made by him, and on the same date. And you can see it has this Milligan bridge, and then we have a sawmill bridge. So these are two different bridges, two different spans, and it looks like they're doing work on it at the same time. So now that we're at the end of the year, we have a better sense of what's happening within the company this year. So we have an annual statement, and this tells everything on the road from 1901 all the way through until 1902. So you can see their amount of debt to date. And then they've had, it says construction re Lewis. So Lewis must have got the credit or won the bid to do the work on the construction, and then you can see it broken down here as well. So they had a number of payments due for this bridge, and that added nearly $5,000 to the business. So as a result, at the end of the day, we see that they have somehow managed to net a small profit of $142. Okay, here we have a rather interesting document. So it mentions this guy, William C Studior, and he's of the township of Brantford, and he gets paid $50 by the road company. And it says here, to the manager of the Cockshut Road, I agree to take $50 for being hurt on road, if agreeable to Mr. Cockshut. Okay, so now we've moved forward almost another whole decade, and now it's July 21st, 1915. And we see more work being done on the bridge for some reason. So again, another update to the bridge, and now Harry Cockshut's not around. You see F. Cockshut, so that's Frank Cockshut, who's also the MP at the time, and it's done by a local builder or contractor called Cromar. And the Cromar name is still around Brantford today, and they still do construction-related projects. Okay, so here we see some other documents. We've actually gone back in time now. So these documents all relate from 1856 and 1857. So, and it's talking about work required to be done on essentially the first Cockshut Bridge. So this first letter up here is dated April 21st, 1856, and this is going to Ignatius Cockshut. So all these correspondence relate to Ignatius Cockshut. Okay, so here we have some other documents relating to the bridge, and we see James Emmett, who is one of the individuals involved with this company on this proposal to do the work. So this is kind of a legal agreement between them. And then as well, we see this letter written about the Brantford Oakland Road Company between Cockshut and Irenia Huntington. So Irenia Huntington was around really early on in the city. He seemed to own a lot of land or have a lot of influence in the town. So him and Cockshut obviously knew each other, and this is signed by the provincial land surveyor at the time, O. Robinson, and it's to clear up any question of ownership of who owns the land next to the river for the bridge and the piers. So here is a document from January 8th, 1858, talking about the proposed work that needs to be done on the Cockshut Road, along with the costs of everything. So you can see for the majority of the roadway or the roadway stretching from Brantford across the river just south of the Cockshut Bridge, here the total is nearly $4,000. So $4,000 for a bridge in 1858, I think that's a pretty good deal. In this week's episode, we learned quite a bit about the Brantford and Oakland Road Company. We saw some early documents from the 1850s in which Ignatius Cockshut was working on first building the road and the first bridge south of Brantford to cross the Grand River. Then we went into some later documents from 1901 where Harry Cockshut is now in charge of the company, and they're looking to do some further upgrades to the bridge with a steel construction bridge. Then finally, we saw another local company, Cromar, and we saw them doing further work to the bridge in 1915. So join us next week on Archival Discoveries when we learn a little bit about the Grand Valley Railway.